How many people know who Charlie Morgan is? The GOAT. I love this guy. He, I'm gonna say him, Alex Hormozy, and who would take that number three spot? I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give it to Hamza. I'm gonna give it to Hamza. Shout out to them. I'm gonna give it to Hamza. Why not? I'm gonna give it to Hamza. That's what's up. Sweet. Hold on, let me run real quick. Sweet. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh yeah, you're first this time. Fish Army's late. That's dope. That's interesting. Second, TikTok Zion. Okay, all right. How we doing though? We going good? Can we see me? Can we hear me? All that good shit. I was just saying. This is Charlie Morgan. He is the GOAT of. What can I even call him? I think he's like a financial coach. He is the GOAT of. What can I even call him? I think he's like a financial coach. Oh, what's going on, Neb? How we doing? Oh, was I gone? Oh, I'm really lagging right now. I'm looking at you like, oof, I can't be lagging either. Fuck you talking about? But we good? Are we good now or no? Are we straight? I look straight from here. We're all good? Okay. But yeah, we're gonna chop it up a little bit, and then I gotta bounce. I have to break my fast today. I'm already like super late on that. I don't like eating too late. But you know, what's up? What we up to? Ask questions. I'll probably like answer maybe just 10 questions, and then I gotta go. Just 10, maybe 7, and then you know, gotta bounce. Oh, you were talking about the financial guy. Oh, Charlie Morgan. Shout out to him. Everyone that uses YouTube religiously, go to YouTube and type in Charlie Morgan. Those are the only three people I really listen to for like business advice. Him, Alex Hormozy, and Hamza Ahmed. Shout out to them. They're like really cool people in terms of like explaining like some really intricate stuff about business and hitting your goals consistently and stuff like that. I fuck with them. I have a question about ultimatums. Fire away. Also, what constitutes an ultimatum? Because I asked her for compliance and I had a time constraint. That's not an ultimatum. That's a you asking for compliance with a time constraint. That's not an ultimatum at all. An ultimatum is making her make a decision between you and something or someone else, right? Usually something else. But an ultimatum is you trying to draw the line in the sand, but from a place of weakness, right? No one ever uses ultimatum when they actually have leverage. The only people that use ultimatums are people with no leverage. That's the irony to it. If you had control over the situation and you knew you had like solid influence over her, you wouldn't feel the need to make her choose it's either me or this or anything like that. You would just tell her what to do. You feel me? So an ultimatum is essentially something people do when they have no power. That's why you shouldn't do them. That's why you shouldn't use them, because all they do is signal to the girl that you are weak. I was watching your tension guide you just posted, and I'm guessing to create tension and convo is by what exactly? And I've been good. I'm recovering from the surgery. Congratulations on that, by the way. I'm happy about that. But to create tension is by what? What did you mean? Creating tension is essentially just the art of making yourself biologically significant to her in the moment. So whether you're going to use fear, anxiety, respect, whatever, you have to be something or someone consequential in front of her. That's what creating tension is just being someone consequential. And again, it comes in different forms: fear, anxiety, respect. It can even be in the form of competition. It can be in the form of uh, trying to drag validation out of you, seeing you as a source of validation for them, right? So the whole point, though, is to create that point of contention, that tension in the air, to make her feel like something significant has happened on the biological level whenever you're talking to her. And that's how you create tension. And then when you have tension, you naturally have attraction. That's how it works. That's why, I said it before, and I'll say it in the series later, something I mentioned later. But that's why every girl that works with her boss, every girl wants to end up fucking her boss, right? Because they don't start out thinking, I find my boss attractive. That's not what they're thinking. But they have referential fear for that boss. They have respect for that boss. And he's in a position of power over them. So they have tension around the boss. And eventually, because of how female psychology and physiology works, that referential fear and respect turns into attraction later, right? It's also the reason why women are the, how do they say it, the biggest experiencers. I don't know, I'm probably saying that incorrectly, but basically they have a higher likelihood of suffering from Stockholm syndrome. Why is it that a woman gets kidnapped by a dude and then eventually ends up falling in love with that dude? It's kind of weird, right? Makes no sense. On a logical level, it doesn't. But on a physiological level and on a biological level, as far as evolution is concerned, it makes perfect sense. What greater high tension situation is there than the one where she gets kidnapped? Right? She feels a lot of tension around the kidnapper. And eventually that tension is going to be interpreted by her body as a massive biological significant moment, right? Like it's an indication of biological significance. And because of how women are and how their brains are wired, boom, that massive tension turns into attraction. And then they end up fucking the kidnapper and having fucking 20 babies for him. There's a lot of stories like that. It happens very much. A lot of times. A lot more times than babies for him. There's a lot of stories like that. It happens very much. A lot of times. A lot more times it all comes down to tension. So I gave a compliance test, with an ultimatum added to it, and she didn't do it. I followed through with the consequences I gave her. Now she's giving a cry for help and wanting my attention. Sounds about right. But I need to know what you said to her specifically. Was it like an actual ultimatum, or did you just tell her do this or else? Like, I want to know. What's your plan with all the fuck the big three thing with the game TikTokers? That's just me, making trouble. That's just me being a dickhead. Don't mind me. These are kids, end of the day. I think I'm far older than all three of those guys. All four of them, really. So, shout out to them. But, if it ever comes to it, experience beats all. Let's see. So do I backtrack on my consequence or stick with it and just lose this one? Oh no. Give her a chance to redeem herself by giving her another compliance test, or giving her a chance to redeem herself with the compliance test you gave her before. That's the beauty of it. Like, you don't have to throw away now, like, oh, I've told you this will happen and therefore it'll happen forever. You can go, listen, I still think you're a good person, and it'd be a waste for us to not, carry on with something in the future. Why don't you actually fucking do what I say? All right? Give her a chance to redeem herself. Also, I think you should explain that you're supposed to hit the extremes and not just inch to a balance. Made things easier. Oh, fair enough. Again, that's one of those things I probably need to say out loud instead of just like knowing it in my head. Fair enough. I will. I'll say it in the series. Because she was trying to hold compliance from me on this one thing that I asked her to do. What did you ask her to do? She did everything else, though. Her thought process was she wanted to have some mystery to her. I didn't understand what she was doing and thought she needed more motivation to do the thing, so I threatened to block her. Cook me, I'm ready for it. Yeah, you're gonna get cooked. Um, okay, so yeah, you probably just treated that situation incorrectly. She withheld the compliance because she wanted to still be mysterious to you. It's women, dude. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with her trying to, be interesting for you. And in a weird way of thinking about it, that's a good thing. When a woman wants to keep being like mysterious and sexy for you, that's not a bad thing. Essentially, you punished her for doing the right thing. That's not good. That's not good. Not to mention, you've probably built a little bit more resentment from her towards you because you got her to do something that she fundamentally did not want to do. So you probably want to, overcorrect with that and, give her some reassurance, make her feel safe, make her feel like she can be, heard and you listen to her and stuff like that. Because you never want her to think that she's in the arms of someone that will disregard her every single time. Like, disregard her from time to time, obviously. You can't take them too seriously all the time. But at the end of the day, they do need to feel like they're being heard, and you didn't do a good job of that there, so go correct that. I didn't know that I was just calculating how far I'm from the perfect middle, and I was losing slowly. Fair enough. My bad. I should have told you that. um, TikTok censor, but doing teasing and negging in Convo. Oh, true. I gotta chill out for TikTok. You're right. Teasing and negging in the convo is not a bad thing, if that's what you're asking. You just gotta, be careful. Depending on the kind of girl you're dealing with, you might have it backfire or not backfire, so you want to keep that in mind. Let's see. Bridal kidnapping or war brides. Oh yeah, that's happen all the time. Like that people think that's like an olden days thing. Like, oh, back in the day where people got away with that shit. People get away with that shit right now. And you would think those women are like, oh, these are 20th century women. Well, 21st century women, they would never, fall for that. They would never fall in love with a guy that kidnaps them. They do all the time. I appreciate that, Dimitri. Tap the screen, gentlemen. This is good for the algo. Thank you, thank you. But honestly, I'm just chilling tonight. It doesn't even need to be for the algo. Nah, fuck that. It's just gonna be us today. Don't worry about anybody else. Um, let's have a one-on-one type of discussion. I like my classroom small. It helps me keep an eye on all the students. You feel me? Um. Oh, okay. No, never mind. Okay. I'm starting to see the things you talk play out in social interaction. Thanks for opening my eyes, bro. Hey, that's what I do, baby. That's what I do. And I'm happy you're actually using these things that I'm telling you. I appreciate that a lot. Like that means a lot more to me than you realize. The fact that you actually use it, because the more you use what I tell you guys to, the more you realize why I sound so confident and why I speak so cocky and arrogant. Because I know it's gonna work. You just gotta try it. That's I keep telling you guys. The barrier to entry for good advice is actually using it. Most people just don't, man. Most people are too lazy. So I'm happy you're beginning to see like the superpower that is game, how much of an advantage it gives you in real life, how predictable social dynamics and social experiences can become for you, and as a result, how predictable a lot of people can be. You know, it's not hard to understand and read people once you understand this game. It's great. Congratulations. Have you seen the hit Apple TV series Severance? No. Should I check it out? What is it about? I just saw the fourth episode of season 4 of The Boys. Gruesome shit, man. Homelander is crashing out. I actually don't like it because he's like facing his fear. You never want a villain to face their fears because that means they become a better villain. You know what I mean? Plus, there's like, Huey and I think his mom put Compound V in his dad's IV, so there's that. And I knew there's a reason she's coming back into his life. There's no way she's in somehow connected to Vought. Um, then there's Butcher. I'm worried about him. I hope he doesn't die. It's kind of weird. He already took Compound V and he's still dying. And clearly he has powers. He was able to kill Stretchy Man. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I like the episode. I might go back and watch it again just for the fuck of it. Sorry about that, yo. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I got a number, but we never went on a date. Should I find a new gym? Why did you never go on a date? Is the real question. What happened? Because that doesn't happen by accident, right? That doesn't happen on its own. Something happened. Either you didn't do something correctly, or you didn't do something correctly. Because, like, if she gave you her number, that's more than enough to show interest correctly. Because, again, you met her in a gym situation. That's a place where you've probably seen her more than once, and she's probably seen you more than once. Especially in a warm approach situation where you frequent the same location. A woman giving you her number there is a big deal. It's a bigger deal than cold approach, honestly. Because cold approach, she can, give you a fake number if you do things incorrectly, or, sidestep you to her Instagram or Snapchat or whatever. But warm approach, where she sees you all the time, she can't give you a fake number where she sees you all the time. So if she gives you her number, she actually wants you to have it. So if you're not on a date with her anymore, or right now, then you fucked up somewhere. Like, she already likes you enough. So what did you do? I need to know. What I meant, does teasing and negging create tension? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because what they do, they artificially create tension by you saying things that makes her see you as biologically significant. When you tell a girl something that's a mixture of a compliment and a slight insult, it makes her see you as someone that doesn't give validation too easily, which in turn makes you someone that is a good source of validation. Because a good source of validation is a source of validation where the person doesn't just give validation out freely, right? Did I just go live? Sort of. I've been, 10 minutes here? Something like that. But yeah, we chilling. We just cooling. Charlie Morgan playing in the background on TV. Let's see. Appreciate you, Dimitri. If I were in the woods, I would become the bear. Has been my new favorite joke. That's funny. So when, again, I think I already talked about the whole women choosing the bear and shit. Listen, man, don't expect women to make logical decisions. They're not choosing the bear from a place of logic, And that's why I find the whole bear thing, man versus bear thing, very funny, because it's a bunch of men thinking logically versus a bunch of women thinking emotionally. Of course you're going to say the bear. Like, that's what women are supposed to say. It's emotion with them, man. They don't care about the logic of it. Like, oh, the bear's going to kill you. They don't give a fuck. They're feeling. They're trying to arouse emotion and hurt somebody's feelings. That's what they care about. Let's see. The mainstream definition of tension and the real definition for it could never be so different. True. Mainstream definition of tension isn't even as intense as actual definition of tension, which is ironic, but it's very true. Yo, great news. 1, remember that guy that talked to the girl I liked? I have been risen his favorite girls up? Oh, they went out. That's hilarious. So you stole his girl in exchange of him stealing yours? Fair play. I can't be mad at that. Can you make a YouTube video on push-pull flirting, please? That's what the interview light is for. You guys are asking me to do stuff I've already put in a course somewhere. But you know what? For the fuck of it, I probably still will anyway. Because what I've put in the interview is so dense, I can afford to give you some solid stuff about push-pull in particular, for sure. I will. Ever since I got the skin removed, TikTok censored, life is stunk. I feel you. It's gonna hurt for a while, man. It is what it is. Thug it out. Bro, I like being clear with what I'm gonna do, and the girls And the girl is like, I think I'm going crazy because everybody else would have left. Fair enough. That means that's just her way of saying she likes you a lot. My friend is even more cooked, Jace. The guy's praying, and he never prayed in front of me. Are we talking about the guy we talked about on live a couple lives ago, where you were like he blew up his ex girl's phone, and now she's dealing with a guy that she told him not to worry about? Is that what we're talking about? Because if I remember correctly, that guy was losing it, right? He was losing his shit, and it doesn't sound like it's getting any better for him, unfortunately. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, sounds about right. An object in motion is going to remain in motion until acted upon by an external force. So he's going to keep spiraling down until something happens. And he either goes stagnant or begins to spiral his way upwards. But expect things to get worse unless, acted upon by an outside opposing force. Let's see. If there a way to figure out my name and more info, there are two of them. How can I get her friend? I want the friend close next time. I set that what? Dark Master Yoda, I love you, bro, but you gotta work on your English, buddy. I know it's not your first language. I already forgive you, but you gotta work on that. Because the grammar is throwing me off, son. You said there's the interview coming, which is better than the light. Yeah, so I just wait for that. Honestly, the way you do it is you get the interview light right now. Because the interview light is what's getting upgraded. And once that gets upgraded, the price goes up. So think of the interview light like a pre-order for the interview. That's pretty much how I describe it. It's the same course. Like if you're already on the interview light, you don't gotta pay for the interview. You just get the upgrade and you go back and you see the newer, more improved videos. The more longer, more condensed shit. So yeah, happy about that, by the way. I've been such a perfectionist about it. It feels good to finally just fucking put it out, Shit. Anyway, close next time. You know what even makes it worse? The guy that stole his girl is doing a victory dance on his grave. That's crazy. On some Kendrick Lamar and Drake shit, huh? Hey, he's winning right now. He deserves to do that. And thanks for the gifts, Nep. I appreciate that. Let's see. It was the first time I saw her. We had it planned, but she said she forgot she had to work that day. Okay? All right. I'll allow that. I'm not going to assume the worst just yet. I'll allow that. Try to set up another date, see what happens. Lightning can't strike twice, surely. Right? So let's see. Said, do you not know how to talk to girls? Then she was like, was she your fiends? Huh? Dark, come on, man. So when she texted me that I took too long to respond, asking to reschedule. Too long to respond? That's not supposed to matter. You could take 3 days to respond. And if she likes you, she'll still be like, yeah, let's reschedule. I'm free day on this week. So if you took too long to respond and then you just never heard from her again, then yeah, okay, we can now begin to assume worst case scenario. That bitch don't like you. She doesn't like you, and she was looking for an excuse to flake on you. That's pretty much it. Maybe I convinced myself I liked them because that community was also easier. What community are we talking about? This is the first in a while message I've seen of yours, God-pilled Zen. I'm guessing there was something you said before that probably TikTok took away because TikTok be doing that. TikTok is heavy on the censorship. But let me know what you meant by that. Like, maybe I convinced myself I like them because that community was also easier. Like a particular community of girls you would go to get? Is that what you mean? I'm going to go over correct real quick. Good. My friend is... I already read that one. How important is compatibility? Similar interests, love languages for long-term relationships? Well, compatibility, what we call compatibility is really just... It's agreeability. That's what compatibility really is. Because here's the thing, all right? There's two ways to look at it, and I can talk about it from many different ways. But let's talk about the two major ways to look at it. First things, compatibility is agreeability, because what makes two people compatible is how willing they are to bend and compromise for each other. All right, that's one. Two, and this is where the first one is kind of like contradicted a little bit. Women don't respect men that are agreeable. Right? So the irony to compatibility, and as ironic as it is that people swear it's the most important thing, if you look at the science of attraction and how it actually works, men and women, you can't lead with compatibility. You lead with the opposite. You lead with disagreeability. You lead with mysteriousness and the ability to push her away and all those other things that makes her want you more. And then you show the ability to be agreeable in the back end. And even then a little bit, you can't go overboard with it, right? So what people call compatibility isn't real. It's not as concrete an idea as they think it is. Like, okay, look at the examples you gave. Similar interests. Nobody has ever gotten together because of similar interests. They'll tell themselves they're getting together because of similar interests, but that's not what's actually happening. They're getting together because of whatever value that they believe they can extract from the other person. Because ultimately, whether we like to admit it or not, whether we like to remember it or not, relationships are transactional. You don't like that girl because, again, this is us speaking honestly as men, right? We don't like that girl because she just has so many things in common with us. We like that girl because she's got a pretty face and a fat ass. And we just happen to have some things in common with her. That's pretty much it. That bruh, that is it. Now, if you have a high level of skill like I do, you don't have to have shit in common with her. You just have to have her be so willing to bend to your will that anything works and anything goes. And then from there you have compatibility, or what people call compatibility. Like, even love languages, that's another one. Those don't even fucking exist, right? Love languages. Let me guess, your love language as a guy is physical touch. Ask me how I knew that. Because it's not real, right? The idea that people receive love in a certain way is not as concrete or as proven an idea as most people think it is. People receive love depending on mostly their gender, right? Men are a visual and physical being, right? Men love to feel respected. So we like physical touch and we like acts of service. Duh. Women, on the other hand, are an emotional being. They're sensitivity based. So of course they like words of affirmation. Duh. I'm not saying men can't like words of affirmation too. I'm just saying the entire idea of, oh, this is my love language. Bro, you're not special. I promise you. We're humans. We're animals, and we like certain shit depending on what hormones are coursing through our veins more predominantly than the other ones. That's it. Don't think too hard about it. What makes you compatible with another person is their willingness to be agreeable with you and put up with your bullshit. And that will come from whatever value they believe they can extract from you. That's really it. That's it. Should I find a pretty far girl to help lose weight? Oh, like you mean fat girl? Okay. To help lose weight as investment, or is that too difficult? As a professional, listen, for a few years that was my shit. I would literally find big bitches and turn them into, Instagram baddies. Like, that was like, if I ever released a weird ass course, I would release that course. Like, how to take a fucking 7 and turn her into a 10. That was my shit. I was the 10 whisperer. I would get these down bad bitches with low self-esteem, and I would build them up. So as an expert, I can tell you what the downsides to that are. And you hear me talk about them from time to time. One, the body will always catch fire, and when I say catch fire, I mean will improve faster than the psychology. I'm mixing up the cadences today because I've been speaking a different language with my family, but psychology, not psychology, because that's how I would say it in the Nigerian accent, psychology. But whatever. That's the one thing. She's gonna look better than she thinks for a period of time there, and that's gonna be your problem. All right, it's gonna be your fucking problem because her low self-esteem will seep into the relationship through her words and her actions, and that makes your relationship harder because that means you have to give her more reassurance than, trust me, you're probably willing to give her to begin with. When a woman feels insecure in a relationship, she requires you to give her so much in terms of making her feel special and comfortable in the relationship that it may require you to give more of yourself than you're willing to give. All right? That's one of the major problems. The other major problem is if you don't hold your shit correctly, if you don't structure and set boundaries correctly, this chick will take what little power she now has with her better looking body and abuse that shit. Right? These girls are the most notorious. Like everyone talks about beautiful women are evil, beautiful women are mean. They're narcissistic and they're self-centered and overconfident. And there's a lot of truth to that. It's very true. You don't go throughout your entire life being told by everybody that you are the most perfect creature and have that not affect you deeply. Like beautiful women definitely all to some degree have some degree of psychosis. For sure. I'll attest to that. But these bitches who weren't always beautiful, who become beautiful, theirs is worse because theirs comes with something called a vendetta, revenge, and the need to inflict pain, especially on the men that ignored them when they were still big bitches. So keep that in mind. They secretly hate the men they date, and they're looking for an opportunity to like exert their like revenge, their high school dream revenge on the jocks that didn't give them the time of day, right? So you gotta also plan for that, and then because you're the one in charge of this girl, you have to teach her to let go of her fucking resentment. That, in my opinion, I would say is neck and neck with difficulty in terms of like getting her self-esteem up, is neck and neck with that, like getting her to let go of all the pain and hurt in her fucking body and mind. Jesus Christ. These bitches are evil. Like the most terrible things that have ever been done to me, you would think, oh, by the most beautiful women. Nope. I mean, don't get it twisted. I've been bruised and burned by a bunch of beautiful bitches in my life, especially because of the line of work I'm in, obviously. But Jesus Christ, the most evil shit I've seen, the most downright terrible, horrendous, like, how can you justify that level of evil? That type of the most downright terrible, horrendous, like, how can you justify that level of evil? That type of I got a call there for a second again. But anyway, where did I stop? I can't remember. I don't know where you guys like last saw me, but I'm gonna just say the whole thing again. But the point is, for me personally, and from what I see from like other people, anecdotal evidence and all that, the most evil women on this planet are the chicks who used to be ugly or fat and then got attractive. Like, oh shit. Like those levels of evils where it's like, how can you justify doing something like that? Those type of chicks, like, yeah. You would think it's the beautiful ones. You would think, oh, it's the beautiful ones that have been hot their entire lives, and those ones, I mean, they'll hurt men, but they'll hurt men mostly by accident. It'll be a naivete type of thing, like, oh, I didn't know. I'm just this hot girl out here doing hot girl shit because the world has told me I can get away with it. But the girls who like have suffered down bad treatment, dude, they have like hurt and evil in them, man. They have hurt and evil, and they're looking for someone to exert that on. You feel me? Jason, I'm at the sleepover with a friend who got his heart broken. Do you know any cool advice I can give him? Um, Honestly, not that there isn't good advice, but for him, you got to let him hit his low point first. Don't try to save him yet, right? It's like, you know, I don't know how the lifeguards here in America work, but in Nigeria, we have lifeguards that work a very interesting way. When someone is drowning, they don't just jump into the water while they're still like kicking and trying to save themselves and stay afloat and breathe. You know what they do? They wait. They wait till that motherfucker gulps like 6, maybe 5 gulps of water. Then they go save them. Why? Because they want them unconscious while they're helping them up to the surface. Because if they're still kicking and screaming and trying to get their breath about them, they'll panic so much they'll drag the lifeguard down with them. And suicidal, I was this, I was that, I lost everything, and then Jesus showed up. Perfect. That's exactly how he should show up. As opposed to like, everything was good and then someone tried to preach the word of God to me. They're not gonna listen. It's gonna be too arrogant. You feel me? So give your friend some time to suffer. Let him suffer some more. Then you can show up. If she kind of religious and after, if your girl blocks you because, oh damn, so many stuff. My bad. I already read that one. If she kind of religious and after being intimate, she says we can't be intimate again because it's wrong. If she doesn't want to show you her phone, should I break up with her? That's 2 different questions. One, if she's religious and she says she doesn't want to do that again, that's because you suck, right? Because she agreed to do it to begin with, right? So she's not saying no to that because of religion. She's saying no to that because you suck. And she's using religion as the excuse. If she doesn't want to show you her phone, well, first of all, why are you asking for it? She should be more concerned about your phone than you are with hers. Second of all, assume the worst. I don't think this girl in question likes you. I couldn't hear your response. You lagged with the blocking situation. The blocking situation? Which situation is that? Blocking situation. Whoa, blocking someone? I don't repeat. I probably forgot. My bad. How do you spot the chick who's been pretty her whole life versus the one who got pretty recently? It's honestly the overconfidence is one. The high self-esteem is what I call it, right? Overconfidence. But really, it's the blasé. It's the nonchalance for me. Girls that have been hot all their lives all have the same thing in common. They're not shocked when attractive people things happen to them. Does that make sense? That probably doesn't even make sense to most people. I couldn't hear your response to my friend. I told you the summary on the friend thing. Give him time. Let him get to his lowest point. Then you can save him. Don't save him yet. Give him time. Don't save people when they're still trying to stay afloat above the water. Let them drown a little bit. Then save them. You feel me? That's on the friend. As for the being pretty their whole life, attractive people are not shocked when attractive people things happen to them. This is something someone told me about myself I didn't even notice, but I'll go out from time to time, maybe, club, bar, whatever, wherever, birthday party, whatever the fuck. At some point, there will be some girl that goes, "You're cute," or "You're handsome," or "I like your hair," something like that. And I always have the same knee-jerk reaction. I know. That's how I respond every time. Now, that's something an attractive person would say. I'm used to that kind of treatment. Because I am, though. It's not like I'm even saying it as like a technique or anything. I'm literally used to white bitches and Hispanic bitches calling me cute, handsome, whatever. Right? The black girls will say it too, but they say it in a different way. Right? You probably date white girls. That's how they tell me I'm attractive. But, same difference. If a girl blocks you because she thinks you're too good for her, that's like a low self-esteem thing. Leave her alone. Go get a better one. But back to what I was saying. Now, every time I say I know, I only get 1 or 2 reactions, right? The girls that go, "You're cocky," which again is just a way of saying they like me. Or the girls that genuinely are offended by it and they go, "Well, you're supposed to say something nice back," or like they try to drag validation out of me. That right there, no matter how she looks, lets me know what her relationship with compliments are. And her relationship with compliments lets me know her relationship with attractiveness. Because compliments and attractiveness go hand in hand. And attractive people are desensitized to compliments and don't need them. That's the point. That's why I would say I know when someone compliments me. Like, of course, oh, you're so buff. I know. Duh, I do know. And that's something I hear all the time. So, duh. Whenever a girl goes, well, aren't you supposed to say something? You know? It's that same kind of thing. Can you use the same lifeguard thing with the girl? Wait till she's almost gives up, then show comfort. Yeah, you can do that. But it's very hard to time. Especially when you're like still trying to get used to women and shit like that. So good luck with that. Let's see. I already answered that. Okay, yeah. Can attraction be increased a lot through game and character if it wasn't there initially, or do you need some level of initial attraction first? So here's what I always tell people. Game in general was invented by conventionally unattractive men for conventionally unattractive men to be able to have a chance with girls that only, at the time, conventionally attractive men could get. So the whole point of game is putting yourself in a position for a woman to begin to see you as biologically significant and as a source of validation so that they begin to chase your validation regardless. Let me know if I'm still lagging, yes or no. $2G, nah, I'm not. It's funny now because I'm not. But am I good? I'm back. Okay, I'm good. All right, let me spit from the beginning. Game was invented by unconventionally attractive men to bag attractive women in place of conventionally attractive men. When you ask a girl, what would a guy need to do to bag you? The reason they suck at giving you good advice when it comes to that is because they automatically assume that the guy that's trying to bag them, the guy in question, is the conventionally attractive guy. So when they go, I need him to pay attention to me and buy me flowers and take me out to dinner and all that shit they say, they're saying it with the guy they actually want, like the conventionally attractive guy they want, in mind. And they know they don't deserve that guy. So they need that guy to do a bunch of shit to make them feel comfortable in a relationship with him. Right? That's why the advice sounds like that, like a bunch of simpy shit. Now, a guy that isn't the guy that is in her head, the conventionally attractive guy, he would need to do the exact opposite to get the exact same result. And that's why game exists. And that's why game seems to be like counterintuitive the way it is. When you say stuff like teasing girls, pushing girls away, saying things that are essentially the opposite of what you want, they exist so that if you're not conventionally attractive, you can bag the girls you want because they still get to see you because of the way you're behaving as a source of validation to them. Because that's really what women want. It's not the jawline they want or the symmetrical face or even the six-pack or anything like that. What they want is to chase something that they believe is better than them. And what game gives you is the opportunity to present yourself as better than them, regardless of how you look. That's the beauty of game. That's what it's for. You feel me? Hope that made sense there. Let's see. What foods did you eat to get lean? Also, any restricted eating, fasting? I fast pretty much every day, to be honest. I eat once a day. I'll go like twice sometimes on certain days, but I pretty much eat once a day, and I eat for a short window, a period of time, every single day. That's one. So I control my actual number of times I'm eating, like the portions I eat. Second of all, I really do try to balance my, fats and proteins as much as my carbs. A lot of people, without realizing, eat more carbs than fats and proteins. I really try to have more fats and proteins than carbs. Does that make sense? Okay, I'll put it like this, and this is something someone asked me recently too. If you are in an extreme situation, you should be doing extreme shit to get out of it. If you are 5'7" and 300 pounds, you are a big bitch, right? You're massive. You didn't get there via regular or normal means. You ate yourself to the extreme to get to that point, okay? That means you have to cut your diet off to the extreme to get out of that point. I would recommend you either go on a dry fast, nothing but water and Celtic salt for like a good 7 to 14 days. And that's coming from someone that's done that multiple times, by the way. Or you completely cut out carbs and eat nothing but fats and proteins. So that's pretty much a carnivore diet or a keto diet, right? But understand, those diets are the extreme. They're not meant to be sustained for a long period of time. They really are not. Whatever diet you want to have in the end is a diet that is well-rounded, well-balanced, and you can sustain pretty much for the rest of your life. So the way I eat right now, I see myself eating just like this at 90. No problem. Correct amount of proteins, fats. I got my starches here and there. I got my carbs here and there. I got my sugars. Yes, I like sugar. And I'm not going to eat it in excess, obviously, but I do need sugars. Your body needs sugars. Don't let these carnivore bros that stay in the carnivore diet for 3 years and shit convince you that the possibility of diabetes isn't there when they don't eat sugars at all. You know what I mean? Protector versus provider types in the boys. We'll get to that. But yeah, no diet in the extreme is meant to be sustained for a long period of time. They're extreme for a reason. Don't keep them up for that long. Like vegetarianism, in my mind, is just as bad as carnivore for a long period of time. Go vegetarian for a year and cleanse your gut out. Go carnivore for like 6 months and lose all that excess fat. Cool. But come back to a balanced diet. Please, fucking please, come back to a balanced diet. Okay? Once you hit that dream goal, your dream weight, your goal weight, your particular lean body fat percentage, whatever that is, please come back to a balanced diet. Okay? We're humans. We're not goats, and we're not lions. Can you use the same? Already read that one. Let's see. Which ones didn't you guys hear? Repeat them now. Let me know so I can repeat them. Can attraction be increased a lot through? I already read that one too. Oh, you repeated yourself. That's fair. I'm not. Hulk 2 is funny. um. 2G is crazy. It should be fine on YouTube. Don't worry about it. Did Ayana Koji use the lifeguard method on the blonde chick when he set her up to get bullied? Literally, that's he accelerated it. You know. He definitely had a massive hand in being a catalyst in that entire reaction. But yeah, that's essentially what he did. When you were saying the second part to when you say "I know" to a compliment. Oh, I gotta repeat that. Okay, I will. What I was explaining there is when you know a girl is used to being attractive or has been attractive her whole life, and that is their relationship with attractive experiences, and the biggest one being compliments. The way people respond to compliments will tell